Hi, my name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in. Today, I got to make a video to continue to keep talking about this word called accountability. Because for the first time in a while, I'm starting to test and challenge and play around with this YouTube stuff. And in reality, the way that I've come to figure out how to be able to figure out what people are actually needing as opposed to wanting is the feedback I get. I believe that most people on the YouTube are going to go the opposite direction of the way that I go because they're looking for more views, you're looking for more comments, you're looking for more of that because the more of that you get, the more money that you get. But I'm not here to feed you something that you want. I'm here to get you something that you need. And that video is the worst performing video that I've ever made on the YouTube so far. I've got so many downvotes on that it just it confuses me, but it lets me know the state of where we are as human beings. We want to blame everything else. And we just do not want to blame ourselves. We think we're just so perfect and so righteous and so amazing and we can never do anything wrong. And that is just far from the truth. The truth is, I don't even want to say what that is. I want to dance around this a little bit before I get fully into all this. But the truth is you got problems and you're not perfect. The truth is that you need some help, you need some assistance. The truth is, as much as you think that you got everything figured out, and the moment that you think you got it all figured out, that's the moment that you actually don't know anything at all. The truth is, that second that you're just like, man, my goodness, this is the way, this is it. That's like, in my opinion, in my understanding and research, and my just living this land as well, from just seeing how this world is, that's the moment that you don't know nothing about your own self or anything. The moment that you got it all figured out. It's like a weird okay, let's go back the other way. I don't want to get lost out here. Let's go this way. I want to get on the trail somehow. The moment that you it's like something in us that's like trying to make us, the only word I can use here is godlike, in a sense that you've got all the answers. That's the I'm telling you, the moment that you are stumbling and you need to stop, reassess, analyze, and get back to what it is you need to focus on. I believe that this is why I had to do a deep dive on some research on just looking at my own stuff I had online with all my dog training stuff and making sure that the language that I use in any ways that I use is all gone. I'm trying to scrub the internet of everything that I used to say. Oh, you good, girl? You can go. Come on. You can go. You gotta walk with me. Go ahead. You good. As much as I appreciate that, everyone watching this video probably wants their dog to walk so perfect like that. And she just does it because she has a chance to pull. And when she gets that pull out, she's just like, oh, okay, I'm satisfied. And for this specific dog, that took months, my goodness, months, at least 3 straight months. I'd bring her out. All she would do was just pull, pull, pull. And now I gotta only let her pull, basically, or she only cares to do it when we're running or if we're doing a hard activity. If we're just walking and hanging out, she's just sits by my side. And well, the big thing I'm making sure I'm scrubbing the internet of, because one language that I use is a 3-day loose leash walk clinic. And I'm sitting here talking about my dog in a sense of how did I get her to be able to loose leash walk? And it didn't come down to using any training stuff. It came down to me having to assess me, understand me, and not put on the dog that it has to perform because, just because basically. I have to start asking the dog in reality to do it. And then I don't have to worry about it. And that's not a challenge. But as soon as I start to force the dog to be with me, in a sense of you better walk right next to me, that's where we have to keep going that route. We have to keep pushing pressure. We just can't get away from it. And there's going to be all kinds of people that are going to say, oh, that's not true. And I just want one single person to just prove it. Just one single person that you're good to go. Because the biggest thing is a lot of these trainers out here are again, not using the word accountable, they use this deception where they got the pressure collar on the dog and then they take it off and walk it for 5 minutes or something. And then they're like, oh, see, I don't need it. No, you got to wait until that dog does something that you don't want, and you don't get a chance to be able to use that pressure collar for that dog to realize what's going on here. And do that day after day after day, and tell me that that dog is still going to be the same way without that piece of equipment on. Some dogs, it's 20 minutes. Other dogs, it could be a month. But you're not going to get no more, Ophi, not eating the ground. You're not going to get no more than a month before that dog starts to do stuff that you're like, I need a refresher course. Because the dog isn't doing it because of, all I can say is like just pleasing to do it. It's doing it because it doesn't have any other choice. That's why for me, I want to make sure I scrub everything off the internet of what I used to, my old languages I used to do. Because the biggest thing is the stuff is based on the dog is a problem and I'm fine. If I just fix the dog, then the dog will be fine. And it doesn't work that way. You got to fix you, and then your dog will be what it is that you're looking for. And I don't know what you're looking for, but I do know you got to change a lot about who you are and what you're doing to be able to get that said perfect oasis that you want with this weird, strange foreign animal that's inside of your home right now. It's not just put this on a dog and do this with a dog and it's going to be good to go. You're going to be struggling because this is just what I've lived in and how I've done it and how I keep seeing it and how I keep watching everyone keep doing the same stuff over and over and just using, the only words I can use here is manipulation on trying to tell you and sell you this dream as if all your problems could be fixed outside of you. And when it doesn't happen in the end, they have all the language to be able to give back to you of saying, yeah, see, this is why. You didn't this, you didn't this. And so then you're looking for something to blame, and then they blame you. And then both of y'all are looking for something on the outside to keep blaming, as opposed to just taking accountability for what's going on here. You're both looking to blame. So when it doesn't work out, that trainer blames you. When you're like, I don't know what's going on here, you blame the dog. And then make it worse, you blame the dog and then you blame the trainer. And you just keep blaming, putting it all everywhere except for where it needs to be, is you. Stand in front of that mirror and say, my problems are because of what I'm doing. My problems are because of how I'm viewing this. My problems are because I'm just trying to think that I could get all my problems fixed by something else. This is the problem. I'll go half a deep for a second because this accountability is tricky, especially when it comes down to church and religion. They put all the problems on something else. You just pray all day and your problems are going to be okay. And when you have problems, you know, it's the Satan, it's the devil, it's that. It's not anything that you're doing. And not saying that stuff happens on this planet. Stuff's going down on this planet. But the moment that we start to put everything that's wrong in our lives as something out there, you're not growing or doing anything. Again, that's the moment that you think that you got it all figured out. And that's why you can use your money or something to be able to get your problems so-called fixed. They're not going to get fixed. And that's why most all people that's ever used a single dog trainer, and even stuff that I've seen, and people advice that I would give people months and months, years ago, you need more. You don't just, I'm good now. You need more. I am for the first time in my life not needing more. I am for the first time in my life looking at what it is that I'm doing with these dogs and getting exactly what it is that I want and saying, I don't need the next course. I don't need, because that's why it's fascinating. I actually have to look up dog training stuff on my YouTube at this moment because every single video I watch, I click on, I click off in 5 seconds because they're not explaining anything new that I'm looking for. And that's not coming down to me saying I got it all figured out. No, I got it figured out that I got to figure it out. Not someone else is going to be able to fix my problems with it. That I have all the information, but I need to actually put that information into application. I can't just hope and wish and pray that it's going to change. I can't just hope and wish and pray that things are just going to get better one day. I have to start to do now. And it's all on me to have to start to do. It's not for someone else to do for me. I got to start to do it. And that's the biggest change that I believe is why I'm able to just keep getting things to look better and better and better, day by day, by week. It's so strange to me. Again, I see old folks doing old things. I'm just like, your stuff I just see your stuff, everyone's stuff around me just getting worse, worse. And all I see my stuff is just keep getting better. And again, I don't have the answers. I don't have you do it like this, and this is what's going to happen for you. This is the part of me where I'll say is, you need to, my favorite go-to is pray and ask about how to be able to get into a better place, how you can get yourself into a better place, not how, Ophi, you miss sniffity sniff today, huh? And not how someone else can be able to do it for you, but how you can do it. And day by day, you're going to start to be able to do things that are just going to be able to make your life much, much better. Because that's the main thing is, your problems aren't because what someone else is doing, it's what we're doing, what we are doing, what we are willing to deal with, what we are putting into our lives, what we are considering, what it is that we want to keep moving further and further into. We choose where we go. We choose what we do. We choose who we interact with. Granted, if you're a 6-year-old boy right now, you don't get a choice. But for me, I don't talk to 6-year-old boys. It's not my audience. I'm not a youth coach that's trying to help kids be able to figure out life, be able to get in a better place. That's not me. That's not me. I'm more of someone I don't care what your age is, at the point of, hey, basically 18, 20 and above. That's who I speak to. I don't speak to little children, because a little child, in reality, you don't get a choice. You're that exception to the rule that what's going on in your life is based on what the people around you are making you go through. But you hit an age where that's no longer the case, that you have to get up and you have to start to do. You have to start to make things happen now. It's no longer just boo-hoo, my mom did this to me. If me being a 30, man, I hear this. I don't mean to laugh at it, but at this point today, I don't know how else to go about it, because I'm trying to come up with better ways. Of course, I'm trying to be more kind and patient, and more. I guess the word I could say is empathetic, because I'm just looking at my own life in a sense of like, I didn't go through this like beautiful, everything's great, but I hear so many guys that could be 38 years old, my same age, and they're still talking about what their mom is doing, and how their mom did this, and how their daddy did that. And I'm like, we gotta get way past that. You're 38 years old at this point. You're 48 years old at this point. You're 58 years old at this point. You're 68 years old, and you're still worried about what dad did to you. Like, that's slowing you down. That's you putting all the blame somewhere, except for just understanding that it's you. It's you. You have a choice. You have all the choice in the world. And that's a big thing, that someone said, I don't have a choice. You don't have to deal with no one that you don't want to deal with. You do not have to deal with a single person on this planet that you do not want to deal with. You could just say, I'm going this way, and you can go ahead and keep doing what you want over there. And that's your option. And most people don't take that option. They take the option of, I got to this, I got to that, because you don't want to take the accountability of why things are actually going on bad in your life. You have all these excuses. Oh, why am I late for work? Because of this. No, because you didn't wake up on time. Because of this, because of that. And you'll keep these, like I said, people that you don't want in your life around, because you could put blame on them on why things aren't going good in your life. You could put all the blame on them, as opposed to just saying it's you. You know, you can. That's another thing about a 38-year-old guy can say is, oh, I'm having problems at home, and someone says, oh, I have problems at home. Oh yeah, my mom this and my mom that. As you'll keep her there just so you can keep on having that excuse, instead of saying, I haven't got up and done what I need to do right now. I haven't gotten up and just started to take action in what I need to start to focus more of my time and my energy on. I'm allowing her to be the excuse, so that I can just run away from the problems that I have going on my own self. You sure miss sniffing it a lot today, girlfriend? I think it's because I gave her food before we got out here. She only eats at nighttime. When I give them food, any other time than I give them food, it's almost like it's game on to go find food at any moment now. And that's what I'm trying to curb this specific dog from, because she is just a food craze. I think she's looking for deer right now. It's just interesting on how the video I make that can actually get someone to think into a more positive way of life is the one that just gets slammed the hardest. And I can make a video saying, your dog is a problem. Your mom is a problem. Your dad's a problem. Your kids are a problem. Your wife is a problem. Your work is a problem. The government is a problem. The drones are the problem. The president is the problem. The Russia is the problem. And China is definitely the problem. I could make videos like that all day, and people would be just eating it up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is true. Those people are bad. Yeah, that Trump is evil. He is not good. Yeah, those drones are bad. They are doing some crazy stuff. Yeah. I'm on board with that. You be on board 100% with all of that. But what is that going to do? That's going to do something, again, that my Bible states about. And even me personally, I've been questioning and challenging, because something that someone said to me that made me really think is beliefs. The Bible is a belief, and all beliefs should be challenged at all times. You should never just be 100%. You got to challenge it. And there's a lot in that book that says, challenge your beliefs, not just take it as it is. And that's how you know what's true or not. And I've been challenging that book a lot. But there's a lot of things that go on in it that just, it states what's going on. Everyone's going to have ears, or itchy ears, to hear what they want to hear, not what they need to hear. They want the information that makes them feel good in the moment, but not the information that's actually going to just, it hits you heavy. It hits you hard. It hits you in a very ruthless way. Because the thing that I'm challenging my Bible on right now is me understanding that I believe, I'm going to say straight up that something that I see, it's a history book, but it's a history book for a certain group of people, not for all people, a certain group of people. And it's a history book that is all about forcing their religion upon everybody, not giving them a choice, not giving people an option. This is the difference I used to say with the Quran and the Bible, is that the Quran, they come in and they basically use war and they make you submit, and then they put their religion upon you. I was like, the Bible's not like that. But when you really, really pay attention to that Bible, that is all that they do. They're taking other people's land that is not theirs, and they're forcing them to adopt and take what it is that they're doing. They're not giving them, oh, was I supposed to turn there? They're not giving them a choice or an option. Nope, they don't look like a trail. They don't give them a choice. They're demanding that. And in reality, straight up, that's not taking accountability. That's forcing your will. That's doing what we are doing with these dogs today in reality. We are forcing these dogs to do what I want them to do, and not really giving them an option of a choice of saying, do you want to? When you give them the choice, you give them the option of do you want to, oh my goodness, it is a beautiful experience. And that's the concept of be the change that you want to see in others around you. If you start to be something that you are wanting, the other things around you are going to start to say, I like that. I want to be around that. So when I'm chill, when I'm calm, when I'm slow to anger, when I'm not getting frustrated, these dogs are like, holy crap, dude, I want to be around you. Like, that's where I want to go. And I just keep being that, and I keep doing that. And then they want to just stay closer, and then they want to listen to pretty much anything that I'm saying. So I have to be that one that's showing them what I'm looking for. And then they'll make a decision to come to me on their choice, on their timeline, not on mine. Not me forcing it upon them, saying, you don't have a choice, you better. That's not me being what I would use as a kind of appropriate, a respectable person on this planet. That's extremely disrespectful. And it's something that I just would want someone to really just hear, because I'm going to unfortunately be making lots of videos talking about the same stuff, because it's what needs to be said. If we're always looking outside for how to fix our problems are not never, but most likely not going to be able to be solved. We're going to stay in them over and over and over. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse, to the point that you are just going to want to give up, because that savor isn't ever coming for you. And I hear this from so many people. Ophi, come on. I hear this from so many people that have just like literally, seriously given up on life, on saying, I'm just waiting for Jesus to come back and in the rapture and just take me away. I just quit. And I'm just going to live. I'm going to be a body until that day happens. And then, everything will be good. And it's fascinating when I hear that. And because it lets me know that you may have not wanted to end your own life, but you're kind of in a way waiting and praying upon God to do that for you, so that you can go ahead and just end it sooner. That's why a lot of times we shouldn't be taking advice from folks. We should be praying and asking about it. We should be figuring out how to be able to get a better understanding of what we need, because we don't actually know what's going on behind somebody with what's going on with them. Because I can say that even my own self. I feel like I want to add a disclaimer to the beginning of every one of my videos. There's a guy that does this that I really appreciate it. Don't pay attention to me. Just in one ear, out the other ear. And just don't study my words. Don't take it as fact. Don't take it as anything. Because I am the same struggling human as you are, trying to figure this out. And I don't have all the answers. And the moment that you're listening to somebody that you're like, oh, they got all the answers, you're instantly failing. Thank you. We got a deer coming up for sure. Let's work her to pull hard on this harness. Because I'll say come on is for her to get to the front, and she'll pull a little bit if I even say that to her now. But I'll say come on, go get it when I see a deer, and then that's what gets her to like get in the super Saiyan drive, and she'll get to running and running and running. And then it usually lasts nowadays about 3, 4, or 5 minutes, about 5 minutes or so at max, that she just goes 100. She only needs to see it once. So I'm trying to trigger that, her seeing it to a sound, so that I can make that sound, and it's just gonna trigger her to like, is it there? To get her to just want to take off and run like crazy. So that's how I'm convincing this dog. I don't know how to, in reality, I wish that there were more videos out on how to, that's dog training stuff I'm looking for. How to get the dogs to do, I guess, tasks. And how do I get my dog to pull hard on command? I'm just trying things out. I'm basically waking up and just going to sleep and asking and trying to figure it out, and then waking up and like, let's try this. And each day it just keeps getting better and better. Because at first it was only like 5 seconds. In reality, at first she would just take off. Like if we're running down this path and she sees something on the left or the right, she would just take off to the left. And I'm like, nope, we got to just keep going on the path. But now she can see a squirrel literally right next to her on this trail, like right where this little tree stump is. There could be a squirrel right there. And she'll run all the way up to it. She'll look, and then she'll just keep going, like looking for that next one. It's pretty cool. But again, this is stuff that not many people on this planet even care about. I don't know why I've really have come to enjoy just getting this dog to pull and run. It's really neat. Those are the YouTube channels that I watch the most, are the guys that are doing the canicross. They're just getting their dogs and running, and it's pretty cool.